Exactly.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say, hey, Carl Nacy.
How you doing? Zach Calzada.
Yeah, I do
Good
the
to see you.
public address announcing here at
Okay.
the stadium. So
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Nice to
Thank
have
you. Great to meet you.
All right, Zach, you've been here for, 5-6 months now, it feels like. Just where have you think you've grown the most from when you got here in January to now, with practice starting?
I think just really my relationships with the guys. I think that, it's hard to lead a group of guys when you don't know them. And that's been one of my biggest things since I got here is getting to know a lot of guys individually, building those relationships, building those connections, and building that trust. So when come game time, we're a lot more of a cohesive unit.
Speaking of that relationship part, I know the QB and kind of O-line relationship is kind of unique. That's a group with a lot of pressure on them based kind of recent years before you were here. It's a lot of new guys. What have you just seen from them and kind of building that relationship, and what kind of year do you think that group is going to have?
Oh, I love that group. I've spent a lot of time with all those guys, and, we've built really strong relationships. So I'm excited to see, how they perform this year. I think, even from the start of camp and going back to summer and spring, that's probably one of the hardest working groups on our team. Some of the last to leave, their coach is harder on them than anybody else we got. So just seeing them take pride in what they're doing and how they go about their days is awesome.
You said in an SEC Network interview, I believe earlier this week, that urgency is kind of a key for you all, and we've heard some other guys say that. Just, why is urgent such a big, selling or kind of thing you're all hanging your hat on?
Well, so we've had a short amount of time. I mean, 30 guys new, I believe, something like that, and it's just, the team didn't have the success they wanted last year, and we're taking pride in the fact that, since January, the time is now. Every day, we have to come in and get better, and the season sneaks up on us. So, just coming in every day, and the time is now, and taking advantage of every moment that we have in the facility.
And for you, do you feel like more of that because this is your last year?
Yeah, and I think I embraced that last year, and it's kind of carried me into this year. And just, it's a little different when you treat it like your last year, and that's a mentality that we try to. I'm glad that we have a lot of guys that feel that way. It's their last year as well, and just trying to spread that mentality to the team. And the time is now, and we don't want to leave the season with any regrets.
How was it different?
Yeah, I think just like the sense of urgency, man. When it's your last go at it, your last opportunity, it just feels different. You just wake up in the morning ready to go. Sometimes, you wake up tired and it's like, mind over body. It's time to go. We don't have time to waste.
And for you, just getting back in kind of this kind of pro-style offense, do you feel like it's clicking for you now you're getting out in practice?
Absolutely. And it was a bit of an adjustment. I spent the last 2 years in, a spread offense, throwing the ball 50 times a game. But, back in the SEC, like Coach says, all explosive start up front. And I think, just being consistent, staying ahead of the sticks, being able to run the ball efficiently and make good decisions as a quarterback.
One of those receivers wasn't here for the spring, but Harley Gilmore. What have you seen from him that you've kind of got to get to work with him for a little bit?
Oh, he's an explosive guy. I think he's, he can take the top off defenses. He's fast. He's really good with the ball in his hands. And, really all those guys, Harley, Kendrick, J-Mac, Fred, and the rest of them, and even like DJ Miller, the young cat, Troy Stellato, all guys that just come in and they're ready to work, and they push each other too.
Yeah, and Seth McGowan, he was very involved in kind of that Oklahoma passing game when he was there, even last year at New Mexico State. What can kind of he bring to the passing game?
So I guess they're going to have to see this season, but it's good, though. We like him. We like him a lot in that.
Thanks, Zach.
The young guy in the room. Mm-hmm. We were talking to Bo, and he kept talking about the young guys. I'm like, you're 20. How old is that? He's 23, Zach's 24. What can you learn from guys who have just more years of life experience, not just football, but just life?
Yeah, no, in everything, in every facet of life. And that doesn't just have to be football. Just things on a regular basis, whatever it may be, like scheduling appointments, finances, literally everything. Bo's a big finance guy.
I was going to say, that sounds like Bo. Yep.
But no, having guys like that's awesome for everything.
So, Cutter, were you the one recruiting Harley to get him back here?
Me and Harley are super close. That's my guy. That's my guy. I wouldn't want him to be anywhere else but here. So I'm happy to have him back for sure.
What can Harley bring to this passing game for Kentucky?
Harley's really explosive. He's kind of a very unique type of player. He's good, and he can do a lot of different things. He can play a lot of different positions. He can do a lot with the ball in his hand after the catch. So I'm really excited to see what he can do this year, and he's super explosive.
Where have you, just as a quarterback, grown the most from when you got on campus to here heading into your second fall camp?
I think I had a lot of areas to grow, both physically and mentally. And I feel like throughout the spring and throughout the summer, I made a lot of strides in both those areas. I was able to put on like 15, 20 pounds coming in from last year, and just mentally feeling that much more comfortable when I step on the field.
Do you think actually getting into the games help with that a lot too?
So, yeah, I feel like that just gives me the confidence and the comfortability going into this year, having that experience and playing in those big games from last year.
So for you, not necessarily in the season, just during this fall camp when you're just, trying to get better as a player, what for you is like a big focus point for you as a quarterback over these next few weeks?
I feel like the biggest thing for me has been like eye control. You know what I mean? As a quarterback, if you're looking at everything, you can't really see much, but you got to be really focused and really keyed in on where you have your eyes and the decisions you're making. I feel like that's made my decision making a ton better. And, I feel like probably my weight is probably my biggest thing, putting the muscle, putting that weight on so I can go out there and be a more effective runner.
Just how much weight have you put on since you got here? When you first
I was playing at like 202 last year. I'm like 222, 223 right now. Looking to keep that on, if not get a little bit more.
What's that been? Just weightlifting? You hitting the training table hard?
Yeah, Coach Ed does a great job, and the training table is the same thing. You can't reap the reward of what Coach Ed does with you in the weight room if you're not eating right. So that's been the biggest thing for me, learning how to eat right, and also just staying every day, just working hard with Coach Ed, and he'll get you right.
Yeah, so obviously last year wasn't a great year for the offense. Just how's this group going to be different? Where's maybe the biggest, kind of leap you think you're all going to make as an offense?
Yeah, I feel like, there's a bunch we can learn off last year, and I feel like we got a lot of different players and a lot of different guys all around the ball, offense, defense, everything like that. So I feel like we're going to be a lot of different team in a lot of different areas, and I'm just excited to see what we can do.
Thanks, Cutter.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Appreciate that.